Welcome. Again, today is all about empowering ourselves, feeling on top of the world, standing up for what we believe, feeling courageous, and doing what we need to do. Today is going to be very slow, it's going to be quick, it's going to be sweet, and then I hope that you can carry your empowerment off to your dreams as well. So we'll begin seated. You can either sit on a block or you can sit on your heels, sit crisscross, whatever you're comfortable with. Palms come to your thighs, eyes closed. Bring your awareness to your breath. In our solar plexus, we have the fire to take action in our lives. Taking all that security, all that safety, and all that will, all those emotions, and putting them into action now. Stepping into our power, into our flame. Now we'll begin. You can place your right fingertips on the ground beside you and bringing your left hand overhead, stretching out the left side body. You want your chest to be shining up towards the sky, almost as if your solar plexus is radiating the energy into the rest of the world. A couple breaths here. I want you to reach your fingers over as if you're trying to touch the wall on the other side of your body. Opening up that side body. You can gently push your left hip towards the opposite wall as if you're pulling them apart. Gently taking your left fingertips down to the ground and your right hand overhead now. Bending into your left elbow. Right fingertips are pulling to the left side, the wall, and your chest and solar plexus are radiating energy out into the world. Pulling your right hips away from your body. This energetic pull, opening up that side body. Coming back to neutral, you can remove the block that's underneath of you or whatever you're sitting on. We're going to come to stand at the top of the mat. Big toes are touching, heels are slightly apart. Palms are facing forward. Tadasana mountain pose here. Eyes closed. You're going to inhale, hands come all the way up to the sky. Exhale, fold over your solar plexus, shining that light in, holding that light in between your body. You can place your hands on the ground or grab a hold of opposite elbows and sway side to side. Almost massaging that solar plexus on your thighs. Let your neck hang loose. Inhale, hands to shins flat back. Exhale, plant your hands on the ground, step back, plank pose. Now very gently, we're going to be lifting our left hand and moving all our way over into our left side body, into our right side body to a plank. Hands come up overhead. You can pull your arm all the way, like as if you're pushing down into the ground and lifting your hips up for another side body stretch here. Very gently, you're going to take your left leg up into the air and step it to the front of the mat, placing your right knee on the ground, pushing up into a low lunge here. Hands could be on your knees, hands can be overhead, just shining your solar plexus up, out towards the space out in front of you. Exhale, plant your hands on the ground, step back plank, and you're going to shift your weight into your left hand and left side body. Left side plank now. Right hand comes up overhead. Exhale, you can begin to push the ground, the air away from you with your right hand. Hips come up a little for another side body stretch here. Energetically, chest is pointing out towards the sky above you. On your next exhale, very carefully, you're going to take your right foot up, placing your left knee on the ground for a low lunge here. Come up, put your hands on your knees, or hands can be above the head. Solar plexus opening up, shining all of the light out into the world. Place both hands on the ground, step back into plank pose. If you'd like to move through chaturanga, up dog, or you can just meet us in down dog. Deep bend into your knees, pulling the mat away. So if you're trying to rip it in half between your feet and your hands, you're going to be pulling energetically away from each other. Maybe you can cycle out one leg at a time, pulling your heel down towards the ground. Your next exhale, bringing your knees down to the ground for a little movement in our spine here. Neutral spine. Your knees are about hip width apart, palms with all 10 fingers pushing down into the ground. One long line from the crown of your head all the way to the tail. Inhale, dropping your belly towards the ground, pulling your shoulder blades in towards each other, glancing up. Exhale, round your spine like a rainbow, glancing in at your navel. Very slowly inhale to come back down into cow pose. Exhale up, rainbow-like cat. Continue to do this all on your own, very slowly. Two more times. Final. Your next inhale, Gently walk your fingers back towards your legs, sitting back on your heels. Palms are on your thighs, eyes are closed. I want you to surrender all of that energy within your solar plexus and release it. Very gently walk your hands out. You're going to come to lay all the way on your belly. You're going to take both fists like this and place them underneath your belly here. Almost as if you're just sitting on your fists. You can move them around just till you find a juicy spot. Laying on one side of your temple. Perhaps you can even feel your pulse in this area. Laying on your fists. This is a really easy way to see if there's some pent-up energy that may be stuck in this area. If that's a little too intense, you can just use your palms. You can just open up your palms like this, push them into your belly this way. Just feel that energy moving and stirring and brewing within you. In the last class, we spent a lot of time building energy with our loud HAs, with our breath of fire. Today, I invite you to surrender. And observing the two experiences, maybe you can point out if one came easier to you than another. Perhaps the energizing one is easier for you, or maybe you found that one challenging. Listening to your inner narrative to decipher would you consider yourself to be an excess or deficient in this area? Maybe even a little of both. Maybe you have some excess aspects of the solar plexus, but other deficient aspects as well. And that's okay, and that's normal. Just observe, just contemplate, don't make any judgments. Maybe you are finally feeling some of that energy releasing out of your body holding this pressure here. You can very gently move your hands from underneath your body. Place them underneath of your shoulders. Tuck your toes and push up into plank. And then downward facing dog. Deep bend in the knees. Length in your spine. Maybe you can cycle out one leg at a time. Now if you have 2 blocks and a bolster, or 2 blocks with you, whatever you have, I invite you to grab them as we set up for a very relaxing and long savasana. If you have a blanket, something to keep you warm. If you have 2 blocks and a bolster, I invite you to set them up like this. If not, that's okay. You can just put a block underneath your back, like this, and underneath your head. You can set up like that. But if you do have a bolster and a block, I invite you to set them up just like this. One's laying flat, one's standing up. And you just set the bolster up just right on here. Use your blanket so that you can stay warm. Dim the lights if you can. Just lean back onto the bolster. Arms come out to the side. And we'll just be here for 5 minutes or so. Allow your body to go completely limp. Almost as if you're moving into the first stage of sleep. Where you're still awake, but you feel as if you're asleep. Surrendering all of that energy that we built throughout this week. Surrendering to it.